It is without a doubt that the African continent is blessed with an abundance of natural resources worth trillions of dollars. The Europeans sailed through oceans to come to Africa and have a taste of the richness of the continent. Since they entered Africa, they have taken advantage of and exploited Africa's minerals and natural resources at the expense of the mother continent. In recent times, however, some African countries are taking major steps that will ensure that their countries will reap maximum benefits from the minerals exploited from their countries. Most mineral-rich countries in Africa are still poor because the minerals exploited from these countries are exported as raw materials, and as such, the returns from these minerals are not beneficial to these countries. To put this into context, as President Museveni said, Germany, a country that doesn't produce coffee because of unfavorable climates, makes much more profit from coffee and coffee products than any African country. To tackle this calamity, some African countries have decided to ban the export of raw materials to European countries, and instead, minerals exploited from these countries will be processed here in Africa and exported as finished products. This way, Africa will be able to maximize benefits from its minerals. Without further ado, let's look at the top 10 African countries that have banned the export of raw materials. Number 10. Niger bans uranium exports. Niger has the highest grade of uranium ore in the African continent, followed closely by Namibia. For a long time, France has exploited the uranium in Niger to sustain its nuclear power at the expense of the people of Niger, who languish in poverty without electricity and basic needs while relying on aid from France. After the coup that happened recently, the current government has decided to ban export of uranium to France and some European countries until a deal is struck that will ensure that the people of Niger benefit from the export of this precious mineral. Number 9. Ghana bans the export of unprocessed gold. On July 7, 2023, the Cabinet of Ghana decided to ban the export of unprocessed minerals like lithium and gold to maximize return from these natural resources, following a shared strategy that is going on in many African countries. This new policy, which will be passed into law by the end of 2023, will ensure that Ghana retains a significant portion of value chain before a product is rolled for export. Number 8. Gabon bans the export of logs. Gabon is one of the most forested countries in the African continent, alongside countries like the Democratic Republic of the Congo and Angola. Since 2010, Gabon has banned the export of woods in terms of logs and instead supported progressive industrialization of the timber industry in a bid to diversify the economy of Gabon. According to the International Timber Trade Organization, the ban on the export of logs from Gabon has been effective until today, and around 60,000 cubic meters of logs that were meant to go to China remain on the port until today. Number 7. Guinea suspends agricultural exports to Europe. Despite being rich in minerals such as bauxite, iron and gold, Guinea is one of the poorest countries in the world. Many West African countries also source their rice, onions, tomatoes and maize from Guinea. According to the Guinea Trade Minister, the ban on the export of agricultural products to Europe is a move to replenish the country's food reserve, which will ensure food sovereignty and social peace. The minister further warned that anyone who goes against the ban will be liable to heavy fines. Number 6. Mozambique bans the export of unprocessed timber logs. In January 2017, the Parliament of Mozambique passed a law that bans the export of timber logs from the country in a progressive step to protect the country's hardwood forest. The move is also expected to curb illegal logging and mitigate the devastation of the South African country forests, which are experiencing rapid depletion. It is important to note that the move, however, encourages the exportation of finished wood products such as furniture, as there are no taxes imposed on the export of these finished goods. Number 5. Namibia bans the export of unprocessed critical minerals. Namibia is one of the richest countries in Africa in terms of mineral reserves, producing about 5% of the world uranium. The country is also rich in lithium, cobalt, manganese, graphite, and iron ore. In the last decade, there has been an increase in global demand for these critical minerals, especially lithium and uranium, as they are crucial to the global shift to electric cars and clean energy. Namibia aims to reap maximum benefit from these minerals rather than export them as raw materials without any value addition. Number 4. Ivory Coast bans the export of cocoa beans. Ivory Coast is the world's largest supplier of cocoa, which contributes about $1 billion per year to the economy of Ivory Coast. Alassane Ouattara accused big chocolate companies in Europe of providing Laurent Gbagbo with money to buy weapons to destabilize the Ouattara government. The export ban prompted a US coffee and chocolate company Cargill, which buys about 15% of Ivory Coast coffee beans, to suspend purchases of the beans immediately. Number 3. DRC Congo bans the export of unrefined cobalt and copper concentrates. The Democratic Republic of the Congo is among the few countries in the world blessed with an abundance of minerals and natural resources. However, the country is also among the poorest countries in the world, and one would ask how this is possible. How can a country so rich in minerals be among the poorest in the world? DRC Congo has been experiencing the full force of Western exploitation of its mineral reserves as the country continues to be destabilized by sponsored terror groups. The government is now realizing that as they continue fighting, their mineral reserves are being exploited and exported to Europe through black markets. The country has therefore made a move to ban the export of any unrefined mineral from the country. Number 2. Zimbabwe bans the export of raw lithium. The demand for lithium is expected to rise globally in the coming years as it is used in the manufacture of electric vehicle batteries. Zimbabwe is one of the leading producers of lithium globally, and having realized the possibilities in the future lithium market, the government of Zimbabwe has decided to ban the export of raw lithium from the country, a move that will create job opportunities for the people of Zimbabwe and ensure maximum returns from the export of finished lithium products. Number 1. Tanzania bans the export of gold and copper concentrates. In 2017, the late and former president of Tanzania, Dr. John Pombe Magufuli, banned the export of unrefined metals such as gold and copper in a bid to increase the country's income from the export of these minerals. The Tanzania Energy and Mineral Ministry also extended the ban to the export of mineral concentrates and ores of metallic minerals such as silver and nickel. Many countries in the African continent that are blessed with an abundance of mineral resources are known to experience a resource curse, often attributed to bad governance linked with ills of corruption, environmental degradation, and human rights abuses. However, the narrative is changing drastically with new visionary leaders who are focused on improving and maximizing benefits from minerals mined in Africa. Thank you for watching this video to the end. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe as I bring you more information on the African continent, people, and culture.